If anyone asks, I say I was born in Ballymun. Those cavernous towers of forlorn concrete where human sounds bounce around to swirl through the piss-stained balconies, but all tired cliché of urban bleakness aside, on a sunny day, it was still amazing to have a house up in the sky. I can remember being 4 years of age, peeping over the balcony, the gulls flying at the same eye level as me, the world below like a tapestry. And across the road, a rolling prairie of football fields with the blocks of flats like sentinels around it. That's where I had my first picnic. With my ma and dad watching me, I walked on grass in my bare feet for the first time. It was high summer, but the grass was cold. I can remember the fear of stepping onto it and then the spring in it, the feeling of it tickling my soles. I'm getting tingles from my knees down just thinking about it. I toddled back and forth between the two of them. My father, who had a certain smell, a muskiness that to me is synonymous with strength and ambivalence. My mother, an all-consuming welcomeness, a nuzzle and a hug if I lost my balance. I felt so at ease, crossing between them, not knowing that within a year my father would be gone. Off down the balcony to become someone only seen on weekends like a movie, and then a memory, and then a shadow, that I'd later find in an old photo album and think of as just some charismatic man I didn't know. I broke my leg soon after that barefoot walk, smashed it into the ground, my shin snapped like a Kit Kat. I'm getting tingles from my knees down, just thinking about it. Your original landscapes, they're what make or break you really. What you run to and what you run from, what you climb up on and what you fall off. The body learns when to flinch, when to strike out in self-defence. The heart does too.
I can still picture it. It was perfect. The whole family in the camper van winding our way down through Europe. Together. Happy. Soft summer evenings in the shade of that van and straws punctured into little cartons of apple juice, plastic cups of wine filled to the brim, breaking bread on flimsy plates and mopping up simple salads and mosquitoes snapping at the light. And me, bursting with stories to share, my sister dangling her legs from the folding chair and my father glimpsing up from his sketchpad, holding the pencil up to his eye, and my mother's face, smiling, taking it all in, writing it all down.
As a child, I was happy in large parts. It was growing up that concerned me. Evolving was the challenge. Still is. I used to think I could be almost anything, until that day outside McDonald's in Rathmines, life-changing times after a filet-o-fish meal. That moment I wished wasn't real. Salt still on fingers, mother beside me, vulnerability secured for now, innocence still intact, simple things still existed like holding hands. It can be a beautiful thing, a powerful thing. Only sometimes we know we need to let go. Seeing your father holding the hand of another woman and your mother knowing its importance isn't what is meant to happen, isn't what we expect to see, isn't what we wanted. Funny how some places in time are scorched in. Funny how my fate was in part sealed with Ronald MacDonald looking over my shoulder and there was my father, the fucking hamburglar, robbing my childhood despite my ignorance. This millstone still grinds me, still defines me.
When I was 17, I fell in love with the dark-haired, blue-eyed girl of my dreams. Right on the cusp of the second summer of love, back when the rave scene was still innocent, carefree, all peace and love and unity, and during the biggest rave Dublin had ever seen, we kissed in the strobes and the laser beams. We became inseparable then. It had an inevitability to it. We went everywhere together. Couldn't travel on a bus without wrapping around each other first, shared everything. Headphones, joints, ice creams, cigarette butts. Used to draw our pictures of a little raver flying up to the stars. A mutual friend, he had a tattoo on his arm. Bet she's proud of that now. I wrote our poems even. Show me any mountain to climb for you, I said. Show me any sea to swim. For you have ignited a fire in my heart, which no one can never dim.
A few days after my parents' 20th wedding anniversary, and just a few hours after my mum died, my dad decided we can't be alone tonight. And so we pulled our mattresses out onto the living room floor and we tried to sleep there in the big room by the big door. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night and this image is burned into my mind like a hot knife. My dad in the darkness on the wicker chair rocking back and forth, keening, saying, my wife. And I realised this loss was more than just a mother, a wife. It was a life. And that was gone now. An instant milestone to mark this time from that. I was a man. I was a child. I'd gone from a child being cared for by a parent to a child caring for a parent. Because when someone you love is sick, when you're in the thick of that, you're not thinking, you're just living. And you're never not tired, living on hot tea and showers, because sickness is a narrow space and their pain is always etched deep on your face. And afterwards, your memories are buckled. After they're gone, all you can remember is the sickness, how they looked and the state they were in. I remember thinking, I do not want to remember my mother like this, not sick and gaunt, a bag of creaking knuckles and jaundiced skin. I want to remember her when we were giggling together, baking Swedish gingerbread men to hang on the Christmas tree. And of course, those memories of her sick did fade, like bruises, slowly. But what's strange now is how the other memories, the good ones, they're harder to locate now. I find myself drifting to photos to trigger my memory. And then wondering, do I only remember because the photo's there? Or am I glad that there's a photo of the memory?
Something I remember. Sitting on his knee, him playing piano, me mesmerised. This is one of my first good memories, a change of key, only he sold that piano without telling me. He could play a tune though. Sure, he hit a few bum notes, like us all, like the melody of his life. No singing, saying things aren't his forte, makes sense in some other way. His old man didn't either. Knew how to keep his mouth shut, just like he did when he was caught robbing lead off of the roof of UCD. So he escaped to Liverpool, the Beatles, the Docks, rock and roll, wheeling and dealing, wanting and dreaming, maybe like me, for a pint with his dad, or a fight with his dad, to impact upon each other, to bridge a gap because we can't say it all. But to hit him, to let him know I'm here, I'm real, I'm you, I hate him, I understand him, I want to be friends. So we call each other on the phone, nothing said, just plain language, but the act itself speaks. The non-communication says it all. We're both just too scared to fail, just too scared to fall. Why was the hardest thing I ever did simply telling you I love you? Why does this chord still striking me as a man? Why did I wait till I was nearly home and out the door of the car to speak those words, age 27, to save face, to save your embarrassment, and I haven't said it since? Well, I'm just standing here, saying it again. I'm just standing here, speaking to you.
I had just decided to move back to Ireland and take care of my dad. And of course, that's when I met her. The light just seemed to attach itself to her, and I wanted to dance in it, sink in it, lightbox drink in it. And as if fate itself had posed for a portrait, it was her birthday that very weekend. And we spent it in a soft focus haze, wandering around New York City in a way that Joyce or Oster would have been proud. Mine's ablaze. And those moments, they're like favourite photos now where we slowly fell in love. Ambling down to the river's edge, sitting in the sunlight in Long Island City, Queens, staring over at Manhattan's steel beams and the soft swish of the East River beneath our dangling feet as the wooden gangway creaked like the gentle sound of us getting old together. This was easy. All of that straining and exhausting trying was gone. It was so soft and so sweet. It's like a Keats poem with a jazzy backbeat. And on, a subway slingshot into the city, drinks and people watching on the roof of the Met, slumbering in the magic hour sunlight at Central Park, riffing and ticklish and placing limitless bets. And closing out that day with an incredible Indian dinner on 3rd Avenue, with bopping Bollywood blaring out through the speakers, "Happy birthday to you!" And her smiling in the half-light. And as we ambled afterwards to the subway, we kissed, knowing it was the end and it was the beginning.
Here's how to do it wrong. In the absence of a template for a father, become haunted by the ideal of a man. Business suit, briefcase, coming home from work, the wife smiling at the door with the baby. And every time your life isn't like that, bring the real thing closer to collapsing. Move into a fully furnished apartment, laid out for a grown-up couple. As the direction of your life changes, watch your old friends slipping away. React to this like the teenagers you are. Have what ought to be normal fights amplified by feeling robbed of the choice to be together or not. Paper over the cracks. Slide so far away from who you were before until it feels like there's no way back. Embrace the life mapped out for you, as if stepping into a straitjacket. Want something more of life while nothing ever changes. Stay stuck in that outmoded mould right into your 20s. Move house. Have another baby. Instead of spending more time with the girl you're supposed to love, play with yourself. Get addicted to hobbies. Get a guitar and get okay at it. Get a games console and hide on it. Disappear into the internet. In the mix of breadwinning and parenting, lose any sense of the original attraction. Bury the feeling that things aren't right. Retreat into a hard-won selfishness. Keep doing it like this until the whole relationship is like a kiss where you keep banging teeth. Conceal any vulnerability. Invest less and less in a game of diminishing returns. Stop saying I love you at the end of phone calls. Sleep on so many arguments that your heart closes in. Forget the value of a genuine apology. Get used to going for days and then weeks without talking. Learn not to need each other. Feel more and more alone together. Then stop. Realise what's been missing. Throw everything at it to make it work. And when that doesn't work, watch as things get worse and worse and let go. And in letting go of the ideal, let go of it all and fall. Fall deeper and deeper into the black hole of yourself, becoming a pub crawling, booze gorging loner in the rain, missing the last bus home, chasing too many tails through the closing time zone as you go off the rails, and let your loneliness ring out like a smack tuning fork, like a beacon as you lie and spiral out of control and hurt people, drink harder, never once make amends, drown the guilt with more drink, repeat again and again, keep going, get lost, fuck it all. Lose friends, fall apart completely, get told you're depressed, deny it, wonder if you're dying, refuse to accept how lost you've become, and go numb. Until the only option is to go. Walk. Realising you've been going all along, into all you never wanted to be. The broken promise, the absent father, the shadow vanishing down the road. Your mistakes following on behind you, like ragged ends on a tattered coat. A small part of you known, if you could do it all again, you'd do it better.
Life is transient, moves on, throws you curveballs. Life isn't what you expect, what he expected, what I always wanted. Leaving and finding, having and losing sums it all up until one night in a public place I found a new face, stopped losing and had a new sound to sing to. It appeared to be a night like any other. Same mates, good music, laughter, vibrancy. A vibrancy that took a hold of my life for a time, fades in and out in manner now these days, but back on then, it was full-on stereo surround sound. Not to say that my life is more prosaic, but my existence has evolved. And on this night, which was cloaked in normality, I can only revel now in its revelation, fate, 6 degrees of separation, the stars' alignment, all that synchronicity bullshit or who knows what. But I've not forgot what it was meant to feel like. It was learnt before, learnt and lost, cost me something so dear, a first love, but here, now, clearly, I have found that sweetness again. A taste to savour, an urge to dance, a semi in my pants, all for the sight of a smiling, bubbling thing weighing in at about 7 stone and standing short at 5'1", hailing from Balbriggan. One of them bleeding culchy dubs, whose real accent sings when points are sank, one who will cut you down and send daggers through retinas if fucked with. Not to say that she wasn't real, just got out, an escapee. And sure, aren't we all? Aren't we all running or evading some truths? Aren't we all consumed by betterment? I am. I knew something from that moment, though. I knew I'd embrace her. I knew I'd grow to love her. I sought hard, and then, just when I wasn't looking, she appeared. But at first contact I was, well, me, and indulged her with insults, mocking playground shit. She, in fairness, called me on it, so I paused to admit it's only because I think you're fit, which in truth it was. No silky smooth chat-up lines here. None of your cosmopolitan concoctions. No adjectives. No 90s man come hybrid sex machine wannabe. Nope. When you're backed into a corner, we resort to type. And I'm type DNA infested with a big mouthedness. A sometimes charming trait, sometimes job-sackable fate, but always served with a healthy dose of reality and honesty. It's only because I fancy you, I blurt. It was short. And all of a sudden the context of my lacking was understood as Neanderthal flirt. And she went bleeding scarlet. And we left together that night. And we're still left together. There are times where I think you'd be better off without me, and I hope my 2 don't turn to 3. The past, it can stay there. Presently.
So this is life after death. And it's a strange feeling to be in a parentless place. But it's all good. I'm still young. I still got loads of space. And as I hurtle backwards through all of these memories, facing the past and looking forward, I think about how far I've come. I'm a father too now. Have a brilliant son with blue eyes, just like my dad and my mum. And all this love just flows through me and through his mother to him. Now he's number one. And everything I've learned from all of this, I can pass that on as he grows up to be his own man. And one day maybe he'll ask me, what were they like? And I'll tell him they were cool. You would have loved them. They would have loved you. And they're a part of you, you know. And then another day, when he's a little older, he might ask me, what was it like? And I'll tell him it was awful and it was amazing, but it made me. And I still miss them. And we wouldn't be here without them, son. All their love, all their decisions, all of it mattered because who we are is shaped by those original landscapes. So I'll say, grow up, be a man, and carry the light. I know you can.
We're finished.
Resolved.
Concluded.
We fucked up.
We got over it.
We started again.
We're done with the past.
Ready for the future.
Until tomorrow.
What is a man?
A man is Stephen.
A man is Kalle.
A man is Colm.